Hello everybody, I am here at Agave Aesthetics with Megan Manning. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
it. Yeah. Tell us about Agave Aesthetics. What do you all do here?
Sure. So Agave Aesthetics is a skincare and wax studio in Peoria, Arizona. We specialize in customized skincare as well as facial and body waxing. And I started it a few years ago after I transitioned out of teaching, and I just wanted something where I could work with adults. I could work with people and just kind of empower them to figure out what's best for their skin and be more confident with themselves.
Awesome. What made you choose aesthetics?
Sure. So like I mentioned, I previously was a special ed teacher. When I was going to ASU to get my special education degree, I worked at a salon and spa in Glendale, and I loved the environment there. It was a really positive experience with the beauty industry. And when I took a step back from teaching and I was a stay-at-home mom for a minute, I knew I didn't want to go back to teaching, and I just wanted something that had a little bit more flexibility. Working in the restaurant industry as a young person, I liked that if I needed more money, I stayed on my shift. I picked up an extra shift. I closed. I could make more than just a salary. So that's what really enticed me in opening my own business, was just being able to flex with daycare, flex with having my husband who traveled a lot at the time. We're a military family, so having that option of working when I can work or not working when I can't work,
Yes.
that was a really big deal for me. So that was kind of the first start with it. I ended up looking at a school in Scottsdale, Arizona, and just kind of fell in love with the aesthetic and the environment.
And what has surprised you the most when owning a business?
So I think especially with the beauty industry, you go to school for that specific trade, like that service. And so I was really thankful. I went to Penrose Academy out in Scottsdale, and they did a really nice job of exposing us to business loans, taxes, like what kind of licensing and insurance we needed kind of as independent practitioners. But taxes and like figuring out how to hire someone and how to train them and what procedures and protocols, like I'm thankful I have a degree and I have a lot of extra experience with kind of like corporate or workplace just with being a teacher, and that's definitely helped. But I mean, you're essentially working two jobs. I'm an esthetician, so I have clients, 40 hours a week, but then at home between naps, before school, on a day off, I'm doing all of the back end things. So I think that was the biggest surprise, because I'm like, oh, what do you mean my inventory just doesn't show up? Or I have to market, like people aren't just lining up at my door for me to like pop their pimples like and wax them. Like that doesn't happen. So just kind of essentially learning how to run a business, because I didn't go to school for that.
What is something most people don't know about your business here?
I think we're different, or people don't realize that we're different in the sense of a lot of my clients that have come in have had negative experiences with beauty professionals. Either they had someone that kind of rushed through them, didn't explain things, didn't ask them questions, just they were a facial and they got checked off the list and they got checked out. Or they have the experience of they come in and then the esthetician is like, well, you need all of these things. Here's all these chemical layers, and they've never worked on your skin and they're just throwing them on. So it's like feast or famine in the sense of then they do all of the things and then the client needs all of the products. And that's really overwhelming. And that I think puts a lot of bad taste in people's mouth.
Yeah.
So at Agave, with myself and with Bianca, my employee, we are very transparent. We really believe in being proactive rather than reactive to situations. So we like the slow and steady. We like to crock pot, if you will, just kind of get everything low and slow, just to really develop a relationship, kind of figure out what works best for you as far as products, as far as your lifestyle, and not just try and sell you a bunch of product or a bunch of services that you may not need or may not work best for you. So I think that's kind of where we're a little bit different, or people don't realize that we really try and be different in that area.
What are your goals over the next year?
Okay, so last year was my first year that I hired my first employee, and she has done great. And what I would love to do with this next year is move her to a more full-time position. But in order to do that, we would need to expand to a double suite, which is very hard to find. ideally, I would love to find a double suite, or we are starting to talk with a commercial agent on finding like a brick and mortar and open up our storefront. So that would be, yeah, it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
But yeah, super exciting. Yeah, I'd love to just be able to expand so that I have more flexibility with my time, and Bianca can work more time if she wants. I'd love to hire on another esthetician and potentially hire on like some front desk, just to be able to expand and grow. And kind of, I feel like we're capped out with where we're at with growth. So being able to expand. And then,
what is something most people don't know about you?
Oh, I feel like I'm probably a little too personal. A lot of my clients know I'm a former educator, I'm a mom, I'm a military wife.
Why do you think it's important for people to shop local?
Sure. Shopping local, especially in Peoria, which is where I've grown up. It's where my husband grew up. It's where my kids are going to the same school where I went. It just reignites like the passion and the fire that our small businesses have, I think. It's super easy to shop big because it's convenient, but I think with Peoria and how much growth we've had, it's easier to shop small because we have so many cute little or like niche pop-ups that are around. So I think it just helps the business owners thrive, and it just solidifies like why Peoria is so great. Like we have that small town in a very large community, but it's, you know, you have the layers of people of like, oh, you know, my best friend here and she does this, and oh, her husband does that, and it's everyone's connected. And then I also feel like ethically we just feel better when, you know, you're supporting, you know, a mom and her family, or, you know, a person in their second career that's making a jump from a corporate setting to do something that they're passionate.
What are some of your favorite things to do in the neighborhood?
Okay, so I wrote a little tidbit. So we really like going on bike rides. We're pretty central to the new bike canal, or like the back bike paths that go basically from here all the way down to the stadiums and back. So even stopping, our favorite place to get pizza, and it is nostalgic because it's where we went during like our high school lunch breaks. And my husband went there when him and I, we weren't dating, but we like knew each other. And so it's Ray's Pizza off of 83rd in Deer Valley. And it's like a small pizza place, but they're just the nicest guys, and they've seen us grow up. And now that we have kids and they have kids, it's fun to see. Yeah, what else? I love going to Bar 3 in North Peoria. Katie is amazing there. Our newest addiction, which is probably going to get a little out of control, is Twisted Sugar. They have really yummy like treats and drinks and like a Dole Whip frozen goodness that is amazing. And I know in the summertime that'll be super fun. Campbell's is a really great little breakfast spot that we like to go to.
So is there anything going on that maybe your clients might want to know about?
Yeah, so one of the newer services we just rolled out last year was brow laminations with Bianca. So that's been super great, as well as tinting, which is huge for summertime. So it's less makeup, less time getting ready, and you can just go on about your day, or you can go to the beach, you can go to the lake, you can go to the pool and not sweat it off. I just brought in that hydrodermabrasion machine, which is great for anti-aging and just really rehydrating the skin, which, as you know, being transitioning from a humid environment to a dry environment, our skin tends to freak out a little bit.
If somebody wants to maybe schedule a consultation or appointment, how should they contact you?
Sure. So all of our scheduling is done online. That way it's all up to date, and then we get all of your contact information. Our website's www.agaveaestheticsaz.com, and it has our booking link. It has services, before and afters, client testimonials, and also you can shop online. So if you needed to pick up a skincare product but you weren't by, or have an appointment coming up, you can always grab it and we can set a little goodie up for you that way.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
My
for
pleasure.
doing this.
Thank you
I
for having
appreciate it.
me.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you.